We're the DMV Sports Show. Welcome. Pull up a chair. You got some concerns? Let's air it. So, we're going to start with the Washington Commanders. Now, NFL is back along with college football is back. And most of y'all probably watch college football, know that, it's the most intense sport as well as professional football in the league. So, what we do is we constantly sit down and talk and discuss football, X's and O's. Sometimes we even talk about, professional football as well as defense. So we don't really, uh, we don't really discuss more than that, but we should. That's why we want you to come in and discuss. So what we do now is talk about the Washington Commanders, which is a professional football team versus a college football team. Now, we could talk both. So if you have comments, go ahead and comment it and I'll read them out loud. And we'll ask the panel to, give or take a little. So with that being said, we got Big Steve here. So Big Steve, let's talk about, let's talk about the Washington Commanders. There's a big test coming in, and there's a team by the name of the Arizona Cardinals who are traveling from Arizona to Washington to play them. We actually know the history of the Cardinals. The Cardinals has sometimes won games, and beat us handily. And this time, we all know that this is not the same team as it was before. They do have a really good quarterback. They do have a really good defense, but they're just like the Commanders. The unknown in the quarterback situation is on Kyler Murray. Now, the biggest impact on us is Sam Howell. Now, of course, we see how Sam Howell did in the preseason, scored 2 touchdowns, did some really good things. But the hesitation, the uncertainty is plaguing the minds of us. So, Big Steve, I'm going to ask you this. Based on what you saw here in the preseason, is there a big concern on the offensive side, defensive side, or is it a big problem on the special team side? What do you think?
I think it's more on special teams than anything else, because remember we picked up Dmv with Kansas City, offensive coordinator now.
Yeah.
And we upgraded our offensive line, especially our offensive line and our tight end.
Right.
Our wide receivers is set since last year. Sam Howell is, he's 24 years old, so he's a young quarterback. But that's what we have that Arizona don't have. They don't have Murray starting as a quarterback. They got Dobbs as quarterback. They got an unproven set of receivers now.
Yeah.
They got a so-so running back. So they don't have the team that they had last year or the year before. They got one. They consider the last place team in the NFL. So we asked with our upgrades on offense, because our defense was third in the league, and we just add 2 more, a safety and a cornerback. So we should be more dangerous on defense, so we can handle. I heard the news that Chase Young is not going to be playing in the 3rd week, but we did pick up a defensive end, and we picked up another wide receiver. Because Klein is on the injury reserve.
Well, let's also let's add to that the wide receiver. Excuse me. The wide receiver we picked up is none other than Jamison Crowder, former wide receiver of the Commanders, which is 100% the most greatest pickup we could ever get. So
and that only makes our wide receiver more more dangerous. More, and he's going to be our kickoff and punt returner, which makes it more dangerous. That's why I think the special team is the question mark. Adding the corner to the mix is the only, because remember, he used to return kicks and punt for us now, so it can even make it more dangerous.
Welcome, Big Red. So we just got two more callers coming in. This guy, he's the co-host of the Hand Sports Show, none other than Louis Tenor, and we got Coach on the phone, none other than Marilyn Myers. Welcome, both of you. Welcome.
Thank you, all.
So, I was just asking Big Steve about the main concern of the Commanders at this moment. So, what do you have for me, Lou? Do you think it's the offense, defense, or special teams that could be the potential problem for us to win against the Cardinals?
Your offense, I think, is going to be well against the Cardinals. I think you can look like your special teams. They have it on your problem. So I'm going to say that special teams is going to be, what you got to look out for. What you got to kill.
That's a good point there. Coach, welcome. Coach, you still there? Marilyn. Oh, we'll just wait. So both of you says special teams. I think, and then when Marilyn comes back, we'll get her take on it. I think our most problematic thing. Now, there's a little bit of factors in here that it's not a big dramatic point. It's more of a concern. My concern is Chase Young. Chase Young was cleared about a day ago, and now they want to make sure that he's okay, so they want to put him down, sit down. I get that. But when you start getting players such as, Kashmir Allen, and he doesn't perform, but you bring him back on the practice squad, it needs to be addressed that there's so much things that we need to do on special teams so that the team doesn't get a boost. We want to play to our strengths. We don't want to go ahead and lapse. You understand? So those are certain things. Now, around the league, during the preseason, you start to see a little bit more of a team getting more strength, such as the Pittsburgh Steelers. At 1 and 2 years ago, were horrible with Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger won a playoffs and a championship with Tom Thompson, excuse me. And now they got this rookie from University Pitt, and this guy is actually killing it on offense. Now, let's fast forward to the Jets. The Jets are now 100% playoff bound with a former quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, at the helm, and they have a running game, and they have a defense. Now this team is most likely a danger to any team that it comes in its way, especially at home. So, with those factored in, what would you say about our team? Are we amongst those teams offensively or defensively? Let's go with Lou and then Big Steve.
All right, so you're looking at what's I think the offense is looking good. Your defense has seen this, but like I said, the special teams you have to worry about. So your offense, I think, is going to stack up.
So our defense is a little bit banged up. I get it, but there's got to be something that I'm missing. Steve, can you help me out? What am I missing, bro?
You know what? I think we got this thing. I think we got the pieces in place to go for a playoff run.
I think so too, but there's something that we're missing something. Coach, you there? Let's check to see if Coach is here. Coach, you here? 517-412-4463. State your name for the record. All right. No worries.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything. We're not missing a thing.
Okay.
Right now, we upgrade our line that wasn't that bad last year. Everybody said we had a bad line last year. We didn't. We had slower quarterbacks and stuff. Now we got we got two fast quarterbacks.
Well,
two guys that got big arms.
Well, let's keep in mind. Last year, we had a really good offense. Not best, not outstanding, but we had a really good offense in Taylor Heineke, who actually propelled a 5-game winning streak, not in just 1 year, but in 2 years under the helm of Ron Rivera. And we had a offense that we ran by that was a former San Diego Charger offense in the Air Corral. So I wasn't too happy on running the wide receivers at running backs because it didn't really generate any type of yardage. I was very upset to the point that if we could have used that end around and reversed or flea flicker, it would have disarrayed most of the defense that we were playing, and we would have had a better record. You know. But right now, but the thing about it is now we are looking decent on the offense with a lot of weapons. We got Johan Dotson. We got Scary Terry. We got Curtis Samuels. We have the tight ends. The tight ends are really making a bright spot. I really like how we got that. Now we got Chris Rodriguez Jr. We have Antonio Gibson. We have a running back tandem that is feared now. Now, the East is a lot of people are not sleeping on us. Let's be real. A lot of teams are not sleeping on us, but they are scared of us. Right? So I like how things like that are very, 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 very good for us in the player stats. The only thing I would have to say is Sam Howell has to go out there and punish the Cardinals. Not like 50 points, more like 38-10 or 38-13. Without giving away too much. 517-412-4463. State your name for the record, please. All right, no worries. No worries. So the thing about this is that this offense is now starting to look dangerous, not on paper, but as on the field. Now, if we could just distribute the football amongst those wide receivers, we would generate enough yardage to make So, let's go to the next question. Now, this is a football-related question, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. Now, in the division, after what we saw against the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants, who are we supposed to attack first? Because if you look at it, Eagles lost, Dallas lost, and now the Giants weren't that dynamic anyway. So are we really? Is the division getting weaker, or did we just move up against our division opponents? Let's start with Big Steve, and then we'll start with Lou on the answer.
Okay, I think he got the systematic to, like I said, we beat the Eagles and we beat the Cowboys. The Giant game wins for fluke. So we got an offensive coordinator that's going to attack both of their all three of their defenses, and he's the kind of man who ran a Kansas City defense and an offense that can attack multiple, top five defenses.
Right.
And I think we got an offense that can do that. So we leave it up to him. But our biggest test will be Buffalo in the third game at Field.
That would be a test. That would be a huge test for us. I totally agree. Lou, what do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
So my question was based on the division and what we saw against the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles. They lost. We had 3-0 for the very first time in some years. We had an undefeated preseason, which doesn't mean anything, but it does mean a lot about continuity and team effort. So it does make some sort of sense that it does carry over into the regular season. Look at the Ravens. The Ravens has the undefeated record in 24 starts, which is what? At least 6 years?
Yes.
So what would you...
We all know that the preseason is no better than the regular season.
True. True.
It's hard to imagine. Because, I take the Jets when they went 5-0 and they didn't win more than 4 games in the season. So you really can't go by that. But I do think you see a slight improvement with the Commanders this year. I mean, I don't think it's going to be, like maybe a run to the NFC Championship game, but I think they'll make, somewhat improvement over the last season.
So what would you say about the division? Do you think it's open from the Commanders, or you think everybody's going to start on the wrong foot?
Well, I'll say that I think you give a chance to the division because I don't think the Giants are going to do much. Eagles, they're coming up, Super Bowl, but I think I see a downward trend because we all know that whoever loses the Super Bowl, starts going on down the wrong path. So I think maybe people might have a shot here because, it's kind of hard to recover from what I call Super Bowl hangover. If you see them lose, we don't usually bounce back, from that right away.
So you think... So you believe that you just couldn't answer that question because of the fact that you want to remain neutral and you don't want to give all the credit to the Commanders moving forward from the preseason onto the regular season because you don't know what the new season is going to bring. I understand that. I get that, and you might be right. But there is a component that I just gave you. If you look at the Ravens season versus our season, the Ravens always do better when they go in the preseason and dominate, regardless if it's just preseason. See, this is why I like John Harbaugh, and this is why. Because he has installed a concept that many of us have already have in our psyche and debunked it, that it's only preseason. But it's not just only preseason. It's about getting 11 guys, right, together to play as a unit and dominate, regardless if it's just fake or real. Because when you're in the NFL, everything is based on you understanding the concept. If you understand the concept, then you're good for the regular season. If you apply it in the preseason, you're good. And that's what John always taught. And it's stuck in, because when you see them play, you're like, wow, I wish our team played like that. And then when they play like that, and it's not the regular season, I get everybody's like, it's not the regular season, it's just the preseason. Oh, well. But look at hockey. Look at hockey, soccer, any other game. They still play hard. Why? Because they want to understand the concept. So in my opinion, I would say this. We have a great defense. I seen it in the preseason. This was by far the best preseason I've seen since we had, London Fletcher, um, you know, what's that guy's name? I forgot what his name is. Um, Kennard Lang, Dana Stubblefield, uh, Jason Taylor. Now remember, Jason Taylor. I wanted Jason Taylor to be on this team, but somehow he came here. We had Bruce Smith, other greats. This team has excelled from last year to something that we needed 2 years ago. I think this defense is going to show the NFC East and the West and the North and the South that we are still the number 3, going to be number 2 this year, and dominate. I think everybody's hungry on the DB side, everybody's hungry on the linebacker side. But who's more hungrier? The DT of the defense. And I was just having this conversation with one of the Cowboy fans. I think it was 2 days ago, and they're not too sure about the season. And the reason why they're not too sure about the season is because of the fact that, they are 100% not sure of, Dak Prescott. And Dak, I told them, don't worry about Dak. Dak is going to throw, 200, 200 plus yards. He's going to throw 2 touchdowns. He might throw a pick. He might fumble. He might scramble and lose a yard, but y'all might win by 3. Now, I went and talked about the first 5 games. And I told them the one that you should really circle on the calendar is the 49ers. I will never. You're not going to win that game at all. And they were like, really? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And they're like, are you going to go out there and play? And I'm like, no, why would I go out there and play? Then I'll disgrace my team. But I'm telling you like this, they're not going to win that game. They're not. So what let's talk about the offense. And then we're going to go into the next topic. Now, Eric Bieniemy has instilled this concept. Now, we had the Aero Corral, like Danny Fouts had when he was with the San Diego Chargers. Now we have Eric Bieniemy instilling this concept. I believe this is called a Aero concept. And now, a lot of people might not know what the offenses are called or what they model after. I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what this actually is. So basically, it's a drive and sail concept. And it's 2 concepts. And you see it around the NFL every week. The Chiefs have their own way of getting it. But looking more deep into it, the Aero concept is known as spot. Consists of 3 wide receivers, typically a combination of a wide receiver, tight end, and running back. 2 of the wide receivers are a corner flat combination, which means that Yeah, no worries. But we're just going over some really good things. Let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you some questions. I just asked Lou and Big Steve. Um, Out of the three phases of football, which of those phases are you most concerned about? The offense, quarterback, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line, or defense, defensive tackle, defensive end, um, not the nose, but the linebackers, the secondary, the DBs and the corners, or the special teams, the kicker, the punter, and the blockers. Which one of those three phases are you most concerned about?
Well, I don't stress about special teams. I think that's great. We haven't watched. That's one big reason I wanted to be able to watch tomorrow. Our first string. And, I mean, we've only seen preseason, and I felt like they did pretty good in offense and defense, even though they were the second or third string. I'm thinking that Chase is going to be working with us, but there for a minute they were saying that he wasn't. So,
Yeah.
He's going to be out till week 3. Oh, great. Yeah.
Well, week 3 is going to be against the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo.
And not we needed him up there, but it's most likely we're going to put in either Khalid Hudson or we're going to put in another.
The guy from Dallas.
Yeah.
The guy from Dallas.
Okay, Jabril Cox. Okay. Jabril Cox, we might put in there. That depends on if we feel like he had enough reps, during the practice. So I mean, it's a possibility. We don't know. We don't know, but it does sound like that we are gearing up for a fight. And this is what I have always said on the show, and I always would like to bring this up because it's like the staple, and it should be a t-shirt. I'm going to make it a t-shirt one day. When we fight, we win. And that should be the motto of the Commanders. Or not fight, when we battle, we win. When we battle, we win. Yeah. So when we battle, we win. That should be a big t-shirt with the big words on the front and back. Like in the front it says we battle, on the back it says we win. And that right there, I would buy that shirt 10 times over and wear it on my forehead. So there's so many things. there's so many things. Hey, listen, the words got to get out somehow. Okay, 571-606-6238. State your name for the record. How you doing? How you doing today?
Hello?
Hello, how you doing today? State your name for the record.
My name is Alabama Watt, and I'm from West Virginia.
Welcome, Alabama Watt. I'm glad that you can come in here and express your concern about sports. What do you want to talk? What do you want to talk today?
My child is 14. He's not behaving.
Well, Alabama Watt had to go because she had her pet scurry across her room floor. But don't worry, she'll come back, and we get to talk sports. So, well, I mean, hey, listen, you got to chase your pet around the house one day at a time. You're not really alive until you chase your pet. That would have been a big problem. The problem we hear her smack dab into a wall, then we're gonna have to ask for somebody to come and get her. But no, we're good. She's okay. But to go back to the concept, I think this is the best fit for the offense. The arrow concept. I think this fits the team very well. I think we have a really good nucleus of wide receivers that are quick, fast, agile, athletic, and very smart. We picked up we picked up our former first round pick in Jamison Crowder. We always wanted this guy to come back. He did very great against the Giants. We won against him when I hate to say it, when Kirk Cousins was here. We beat them. Then we split the series. But now it's crunch time, folks. This is the time that we have to prove against Arizona. So we're gonna come back because we're gonna do weekly pick'ems. We're gonna go. We have this what is this? We have a segment called "Who You Got," where we do a 73 ratio, like we always do every year, and we're gonna pick who the winner is, and who we're gonna get. The 7 is for the touchdown, 3 is for the field goal. This is who you think is gonna win, and you're gonna give me your take on it. So let's go ahead and go to the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles have been on fire. I'm talking about blazing hot, feet on fire, hot coals type of fire. And they recently beat the Los Angeles Angels and swept them. Well, no, they didn't sweep them, but they won 2 out of the 1. Now they're on to the Red Sox. Now they just recently beat the Red Sox 11-2, or I think 11-3, probably one of the 2. But looking at this, they are on set. They are 89-51, which means one more win, they set a Baltimore Ravens type of record that they never set before. Now, with that being said, I heard a lot of naysayers. I'm talking about, and I'm not saying Lou, but I had heard a lot of Yankee fans saying, "Oh, don't worry, they're gonna excel. They're gonna go to the regular season and kill it. When they get to the postseason, they're gonna screw up, and we're just gonna laugh." And I'm like, wow, this is very hateful rhetoric. But they do have a point, because
they're ready.
right. I mean, if you look at the record, what happened where Brady Anderson and B.J. Surhoff and, Mike Messina was on the mound, they were pitching lights out, and then all of a sudden, Brady Anderson hits a home run in I think it was the 7th inning of the ACLS. I think we were playing the Yankees at the time. And then all of a sudden, Mike Messina throws a curveball of all places down the middle. And guess who hits a home run? None other than Andy Pettit. Not Andy Pettit. Who was the guy, the hitter? Who was the? It was a hitter. I think
I was
it was.
watching that on the YouTube. Where you can look it up.
Yes. Yes.
Replay.
Yes. That was the horrible thing. And then what happened was here's the thing. It was in the eighth inning, and then we were about to have a 3-and-out when that one fan threw his glove out to reach for that magical baseball, and it was fan interference. But back then, there was no fan interference. It was either a home run or it was just a in the ballpark, type of hit. Right? So what happened was he reached his glove out and took the ball, and they considered it a home run. By that time, it was already over. Yankees won and moved on to the World Series. That was the crushing one. But this time it's going to be different because we have 2 of the teams that we swept, and that's Tampa Bay and the Marlins. Now, if the playoffs were to begin today, we will already be number one, and we will go ahead and wait for the two to battle out to reach us. So I guess it's the best of five. Uh, I think we would. I would think it would be against Tampa Bay. We will win and beat Tampa Bay and move on to the ACLS, which means that we would take on either Houston or another team. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm dreading either one of the two because I look across the NLCS and I see Atlanta. Atlanta has the better record of 92-48. And I'm thinking, good gracious. Atlanta Braves are going to demolish us with that pitching. We'll coach. So I think Lou's going to come back. So that's. I mean, not Lou. I'm just Big Steve. So I'm really frantic. But Lou, can you help me out here? Who do you think we're going to play in the playoffs? Who would you like to see us battle?
Well, I just think, not for nothing, but I think I get to see, that team you hate the most in the playoffs.
Wow, to each his own. Wow, that's kind of like you don't care type of talk. You're like, I don't care. I don't care.
Or maybe the Packers. Let's really do it without Mr. Rogers being out there anymore. Maybe they'll do better without him. So maybe we play against the Packers.
Okay, all right. I think you're trying to see what they can do type of mentality. You don't want to give two way. Yeah. You don't want to give your whole book away, so you just want to wait until they do some great stuff, and then you'll latch on and go, "Yeah, I knew they can do it. I knew it." No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But I think by watching what I see, because I was right 2 years ago when we couldn't even run the football in preseason, that we're only going to generate 10 points or 19 points. I was right about that. So I think if we don't generate more than 20 points this year, it's pretty much set that we're in trouble, because our defense is going to be either allowing them to run more or allowing to break down zone coverage. Now this is no hold on, listen to me. This is why this I'm going to bring up my point, and this is why Jack Del Rio has proven time and time again to go zone. When we go zone, we leave ourselves wide open, hoping that our defenders can block, catch, or pick six.
He did that when he was with the Ravens.
No. Del Rio done that with the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. My thing is that he has to stop because it doesn't work. He has to recalibrate his thinking about zone. Now, only time you use zone is when you're in the lead. When you're in the lead, let's say by 2 touchdowns, you are supposed to play zone to see what the offense is playing, who they're going to go to, who they're going to do. They're going to run. We'll just put 7 in the box. If he's throwing down the field, then we'll just drop everybody back and play zone. But you don't do it when you're down 3 points. You understand? That's what we did last year. We played zone, and we were down by 3 points, and now we're down by 10. Because you decided to gamble and play zone to see if you could catch them in a slip-up. You're not going to beat somebody in a slip-up now that they're more athletic. You know? It just that's what makes me mad. you gambled the wrong way, and then you got caught by the other team, and you're like, ooh, I know coach is not going to be like that. And you see Ron Rivera just looking into the camera like, did we just do this? Did we just give the ball back to the team, and we were just on the field? And that's the problem. That's the problem I have with Rio. You just don't do stupid stuff like that. If you look around the league, the most person who do that, it was Tampa Bay, but they didn't have a quarterback then. You know, they had Johnson before they had Tom Brady. So we play to the weakness and then give them their strength. That's what I hated most about seeing that. But now I'm hoping that Rio learns from his mistakes, and hopefully he doesn't go to zone, because if he goes to zone tomorrow against Kyler Murray, all he has to do is just run Kyler Murray to the sideline straight up for a touchdown. You know, and I hate doing that. I hate saying that, but if he does that, that's what's going to happen. But offensively, if we stay true to what our scheme is and game plan, we're going to be good. I have no problem with that. I just hope Sam Howell doesn't throw a pick six early in the game to start the game off. That's all I'm hoping. If that happens, expect a really bad first and second quarter, because we cannot afford to go 0-1, right? When our three main division leaders go 1-0, right? Because I know Dallas is going to beat the Giants. I'm sorry, Lou. I know that you're a Jets fan, but that's going to happen, you know. And then we're also on. I mean, you know, Philly's going against the Minnesota Vikings, right? So I expect the Minnesota Vikings either to win by 3 or win by 7.
Yeah.
So those are my takes. For us, I have no problem to say we're going to win this game, but it's not going to be drastic. It's going to be by 3 points, because I saw how Arizona played against their team in the preseason. Their concept is play a close game and win late. That's where their mindset is. And if they have a chance to win, they will take it. But they're a percentage type of team. So I see this all the time. I see it played out. I'm going over the stats in my head right now as we speak. And I'm looking at our probability. I'm looking at.
Sorry about that. Got back on.
Yeah, I know. We waited for you, bro. No worries. I'm glad that you're back.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah. So, Steve, we were just going over the.
Okay.
We were just going over the stats of the game, of the Commanders and Cardinals, and I was just talking about how we have to play sound football, because if we screw up in the beginning of the quarter, we give too much away to the Cardinals. So I'm going over the stats in my head. I'm going over the probabilities in my head. The probability. Well, Coach, you know me. You know I'm a stats guy. Come on now. That's how I do things.
Stats are not always good. Not always.
But the stats always give you the scenarios of everything that plays out, right?
I'm going to give you a scenario.
Hey, well, this is a family show, Coach. We're not doing that.
Right. I'm just kidding.
Yo, she's something else, I tell you. But I think we're going to win by 3. It's going to be a real close game. I got 17-13. We win by 3. 20-13. No, excuse me, I misspoke. I think it's going to be 17-17 all. We win by 3. 20-17. I'm sorry, my math is off because I'm worried about the running game and who they're going to have in the middle because they don't have Campbell no more. I think they got rid of Campbell. I think he went to the Panthers. So they probably got a rookie in the middle. He's going to have. They probably have to solidify the run, but I think we're going to be good in the running game because they have never seen a person in Antonio Gibson. They won't be able to stop Chris Rodriguez because he's running north and south. I think
Terry's going to be playing.
he is.
Terry McLaurin, yeah.
Yeah, we're.
Terry McLaurin playing.
Yeah, he's. So I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna double Terry. They haven't seen Johan Dawson play. Of course, they're gonna be prepping for him. It's more likely they can't stop him with 1-on-1.
They haven't seen Tinsley play either.
No, they haven't. You're right. Tinsley, I think Tinsley is going to be our X factor because I think Tinsley can break down zone really good. So Stanford University is awesome. I think this guy wanted more than anything to have this. I think he's going to shine in this game. He's going to have one heck of a defense to get flustered. And I think the running game is going to open up. I think that's where our first 2 touchdowns is going to come from because they're going to play more of a, Tampa 2. So that way we won't get too wild. I think most of our passes is going to be underneath. So I do give her I give an edge to our offense if we can give the ball to the tight ends. I think John Bates is going to have one heck of a game. He's not going to have a touchdown, but he's going to have one heck of a game. And then Logan Thompson's probably going to catch a few for first down. I think we're going to leave all this game. I think we're going to win. I think they're going to come back. I think they're going to have a third quarter explosion where they tied us up. And in the fourth quarter, we're just going to take it, and then Sly's going to kick the winning field goal. I think that's what is going to happen. That's where the statistics end right there for me.
What's the weather going to be tomorrow?
It's going to rain.
It's going to be just like today.
Yep.
I mean, not as bad as today.
No, it's going to be raining, but you're right. Steve is saying he's right. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the Maryland Terrapins. The Maryland Terrapins won against Towson 38-8. I watched this game. This game was so funny. I watched the LSU game versus Florida State, and that game was so funny because they were going back and forth. You score 7, they score 7. They scored 14. LSU scored 14, and then Florida State scored 17. They scored 17, and then in the fourth quarter, LSU just completely went blank, and they didn't score nothing, and they let Florida State run the football up and down their defense, and the highest score game in the fourth quarter in LSU history, 44-17, all in the fourth quarter. I was like, good gracious.
Is playing at Maryland tonight.
Maryland playing
on NBC. On NBC. It's national television. Yeah.
So who they playing? I don't have the list here. Let me check.
Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. Yeah. Charlotte's going to get creamed.
Yeah, starting at 7:30.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get creamed. Last year they played us. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the last time Maryland played on Nationwide TV, they played Ohio State, and they played Ohio State tough, and Ohio State only beat by just.
Yeah, we beat Ohio State last year, and I didn't want to watch the game because I was afraid that it was going to be 56-2. You know,
Yeah. Yes.
and but it turned out we had 44 points.
Tua brother played for Maryland.
I know, and Tua, his brother is actually pretty good. Here's the thing, Tua last year had concussion as well, his brother in Maryland, and they rested him too. But now he's playing lots out because he has a lot of weapons, he has a lot of running backs, and the defense is actually playing pretty decent. So Maryland this year is 10 times better than it was last year. So we only see what happens. And Charlotte's going to get their butt creamed because there's no reason in this world that – because Maryland played them last year and they scored at least 56. So they're probably going to score like 60. So with that being said, we got 2 minutes to go. We're going to do Who You Got. This is the best segment ever on the Dmv Sports Show. Who you got? We got Arizona. We got Commanders. Lou, you got the first pick.
Well, wait, this season you can declare it as March.
Who you want?
Trying to get Commanders versus who?
Commanders.
Arizona.
All right.
I'm going to go to Cardinals.
Okay, you going to Cardinals. Okay. Okay, what you got, Coach?
I'm going with Commanders.
All right. Big Steve.
I'm going to Commanders in a rout.
All right. All right. It's nothing wrong with being bold, man. You know, that's how we do here. 571. Commanders or Arizona?
What was that?
I was talking about 571-412-4463. I think she picked Commanders for her silence. I got it. I read your mind. All right.
Commanders.
We're gonna go with Commanders too. I'm definitely going Commanders by 3. I believe that we're gonna do well. I'm not too sure about the offensive line. All right, Commanders. I got you. All right. We understand.
That's like 5-7.
Oh, really? Nice. That's good. With that being said, I want to thank Louis Tenor, host of the Enhanced Sports Show, Coach Marilyn Myers. Thank you for coming in. Big Steve here. I want to thank everybody for coming in there and giving your input. You're human first, everything second. Go conquer your dream because you deserve it, because you're conquerors by definition. So be safe, be well. God bless. Have a great weekend. Watch sports
God bless.
and be safe out there because I want y'all to go and conquer your dream.
All y'all. And happy football tomorrow, y'all.
Happy football. NFL football is back. College football is back. And let's go ahead and Detroit was crazy. Detroit won by 1 point. That's crazy.
That's good.
That was a
taste of don't know who
You know what?
any given Sunday.
You know what?
what?
The big case. Andy's wife, and yes, she did let us know that.
Right.
And she let us know that the doctors do not want Andy out there.
Right.
Regardless.
Yep.
All right. Y'all be safe out there. Have a great weekend.
You too,
Take care.
You too. And thanks to you for tuning in to the Dmv Sports Show. Thank you for being part of my podcast. Funny bloopers and outstanding takes. Be sure to come back in next Saturday to comment and call in so we can hear what you want and talk about. So be safe, be conquerors, and I'm out. Peace.